Scaling your law firm doesn't have to be difficult. It's all about mastering a few key strategies, systems, and mindsets. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast, where we talk about how you can increase profit in your pocket and time in your calendar. My name is Carolee Fontanelli, and I have successfully scaled my firm so that it doesn't solely rely on me. Now I love teaching other law firm owners how to do the same. Let's transform your business starting now. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast. I am your host, Carolee Fontanelli, and I'm super glad that you are here today. Now, if you are tuning in on the audio podcast on Apple or Spotify, you will not know this, but I am now recording this on YouTube as well. I decided, why not? I am watching so many YouTubes myself. I've nearly given up on every other streaming service and really just dedicate myself to YouTube. I love it. There's so many amazing people on YouTube creating content, whether it's like business content like this, or whether it's something more fun, like your hobby, like traveling, or just getting to know people, whether it's like renovating or whatever it is that you love to do. So I am now over on YouTube officially. I do have a YouTube channel that has been there for a while where we stream the audio podcast, but now you can hop on over and you can see my office. So here I am. I have got my Scalable Law sign up behind me. Right until a second ago, Pepper was sitting up behind me as well. She loves to tune in while I record my podcasts. So it's awesome having you here. And today we are going to be talking about letting go without losing control. So this is the law firm owner's dilemma, 100%. It's deeply personal for me as well, because this is an issue that I definitely was confronted with in my law firm. And so many law firm owners that I know really struggle with letting go of control in their businesses. And honestly, it is really hard to do. This business is something that you have built most often from scratch, or you have spent a lot of money to attain the business. So you are not going to necessarily be wanting to let go of control, especially when it makes you really uncomfortable to do that. You've built this firm from the ground up. Every client, every process, every win, you've had your fingerprints on it. So the idea of stepping back can be really confrontational, and it can feel like a massive, massive risk. But here's the truth, right? You cannot scale your business and sustain your law firm if you're the engine of your law firm, if you're the driver and you are in charge of the whole vehicle. You're going to break. There are way too many hats to be worn, and it's really important as you grow your firm out to 500,000 turnover a year, 1 million turnover a year, 2 million, 3 million, that you have really great people in your firm and that you let go of control. I talk to lots of law firm owners that are still doing their own accounts when they're turning over $1.5 million a year. This is not healthy, and this is not a great way to run a business. So let's talk about the pain of holding on too tightly and what happens when you finally start letting go with the right systems and the right team in place. So let's be honest. In your law firm, you are the chief decision maker. You are the client firefighter. You're the marketer. You're the strategist. You're the person who approves every correspondence that goes out the door. You're responsible for everything, right? Your staff come to you for every answer. There's 1 million questions a day, right? And you're signing off bills at 10 p.m., reviewing court documents on Sundays. And oh my goodness, taking a holiday is like impossible, feels impossible. You're still checking your emails by the pool, even if you're taking a holiday. Why? Because you don't trust that the work will be done right without you. You believe that no one in your firm cares about it as much as you do, and that you are the only one who can do it. But here's the problem with this. The problem is that you become the bottleneck in your law firm, and that is not great. There's a whole bunch of work that needs to be done, that needs your approval, and it's compiling and it's pressure. It's like pressure on your chest that we need to not have. You then become a little bit resentful because you're doing everything. I personally remember saying things like, I may as well do it myself, or no one cares about it as much as me. And I was becoming very resentful of my firm, especially when you're paying people, but you don't feel like you're getting the best out of them. And then finally, you actually start feeling burnt out. Not from the law though, you're burnt out from trying to manage chaos. This business that you have created is now chaos and messy. And you start questioning whether or not you even like having your own law firm, and whether or not you have just created a big, huge monster for yourself that feels like you can't escape from. That is not where we want you to be. I have been there myself, and I know what it feels like to have all of that resting on your shoulders, and that sense that if you take your hands off the wheel, the whole thing might fall apart. When I had my firm and it was at that stage, I even took out this huge insurance. It was about $500 a month to insure the firm, because if something happened to me, I needed to make sure that the bills were going to be paid. So at that stage, I had, say, about $30,000 worth of costs every month. That was my break-even point. And so I had insured myself that if I got sick or anything happened, that those costs would be covered, because I thought, well, if something happens, I'm sick or I go to hospital or something like that, and I can't work, the whole thing's going to fall apart, but I'm still going to have all these expenses, rent, insurances, wages, etc. And it really, really freaked me out and definitely kept me awake at night. So I really don't want you to be in that position. And I want to share with you that how you can make changes around that. Because the reality is that you can't scale your firm on sheer effort alone, your own manpower. It's not going to sustain. There's a point in every law firm owner's journey where you actually hit capacity. You can't run any more files. I was going to say family law files because that's what I do. I have a family law practice. You can't run any more files. You can't do any more. You can't have any more team members coming to you. You only have so many hours in the day, and you can't outwork this problem because you're already at capacity. Your growth isn't going to happen with more effort. It's just going to be working harder and not smarter. So this is what you really need to change. And the hard truth is if you don't make the changes, your growth is going to plateau, or worse, you're going to become very resentful and burnt out of your business. And we really don't want that, because you can create a law firm that sustains an excellent lifestyle for you and your family, and a firm that you love going to work in. So that's what I want for you. So let's talk about the shift. Teams and systems. So what's the solution, right? It's not just letting go. Letting go is not going to fix your problem if you have chaos. It's just going to make things worse. And that's what you feel right now. You're like, well, I can't let go because I don't have the right people. I can't trust what's going on. What you probably haven't put in place is the right structure. So if you let go with the right structure in place, you are going to have no issues at all. And it comes down to two things: the right team, so the right people in the right seats, and the right SOPs in place, so standard operating procedures for your law firms. Now, a lot of law firm owners do have standard operating procedures, but this is where they house them in their head, and that is not the right place for them. So we need to get those down on paper. I'm going to tell you right how to do that soon. So building the right team. It's not about hiring more people. It's about hiring the right people for the right seats in your law firm. So first of all, you need to identify the seats that you have in your law practice. And then you need to identify the roles that there are within those seats and who would be a good fit for that role. As a law firm owner, you are probably right now in all of the roles in one way or another. And you can't sustain that moving forward if you want to grow larger or beyond, I believe, around $1.2 million. You absolutely cannot grow if you do not fix your team and your processes. So you need people you can trust. You need people who will take ownership of those roles, who aren't constantly needing your input. And you need people in your firm who align with your core values and your vision. So we need to get lots of clarity around those two things as well. But even the best teams in the world won't succeed if they are guessing what to do next. And the reality is that I believe that most employees in law firms really want to succeed and do well, but often they're not given the right tools in order to do that. So let's talk about the right tools. The right tools are your documented systems, so your SOPs, SOPs. So SOPs are your safety net. This is how we run everything here at X Law Firm. So however you do things in your firm, if they are documented step by step, not just the processes, but also the policies and the systems, you are going to have an incredible safety net in your firm. And your people will run the systems as they are spelt out, and they have clear direction and lots of clarity, and it just becomes so much easier. They are the how behind your law firm. And they turn what's in your head into something that others can follow consistently. And you've got to remember as well that over the years, and you are going to be in your law firm for years and years, over the years, you are going to have new receptionists multiple times. You're going to have new accounts people. You're going to have new lawyers. You're going to have new marketing people. How do you want them to run their roles? And do you want to retrain them every single time some of your staff leave and take the IP with them? Whatever they've produced in the firm just walks out of the firm in their minds with them. You don't want that. So we need to create processes and systems where your team can follow them consistently. And these processes and systems are from client onboarding to file handling to how to run the accounts, email templates, you name it. So in my firm and in Accelerator, we have more than 300 processes and systems that we implement into law firms. And then once they are dialed into your practice and implemented, everyone runs via those processes, and it works incredibly well. And mostly what they do give you is peace of mind. It means that when you go away on holiday for 6 weeks, if you want to, you know that the law firm is being run in your way because it's all spelled out. And your law firm becomes a systems and processes driven firm. It becomes the culture of your firm. People don't come to you and say, oh, how do you want this done and how do you want that done? They think, oh, there'll be a process and system for that. Let me find it categorized in the right place, in a searchable place, and they'll find the system or the process on how to do that particular thing and how you want it done. And most importantly, all of this is going to give you massive peace of mind so that you can start letting go of that control. So when the team is following well-written systems and processes, you don't have to micromanage at all, and you can focus on the business. You can focus on working on the business rather than being buried right in it and feeling exhausted like you are looking after, a kindergarten all day long, and then you go home and you just feel absolutely shattered when you don't have those processes and systems. This was a huge thing that changed for me in my business. Once I got a team of around 5 people or so, it started to feel chaotic. And this really helped me to grow to a team of 15. I definitely could not have done it without the systems and the processes. And then hiring becomes easier because every seat has a system and process. Every position is clarified, and these documents are in place. So when people come into the firm, they just know that the firm is run in this very well-oiled, smooth type of way. So what it looks like when your systems and processes are working, your team and your systems are humming like a well-oiled machine, which is exactly what we help you to do in Scalable Law. You can take time off and things don't collapse. You can delegate confidently. Your profit margins go up because you're not wasting time and redoing things or putting out fires. And as a law firm, you are just way more efficient. Your team is way more productive. You've got happier clients, so you're not putting out fires all the time. And you can finally feel like you have your life back. And your firm and the firm that you built still has your DNA and still has your values inbuilt in it, but it can now stand on its own 2 feet without relying on you all the time. You're guiding from the top rather than dredging it from the trenches, which is a horrible place to be. So if this appeals to you and you think, oh my gosh, I absolutely need systems in my firm, you are welcome to fill out an application. I'll leave it at the bottom of in the show notes on YouTube. And now that we're on YouTube, I'll leave it in the YouTube show notes and in the podcast show notes as well. So letting go definitely doesn't mean that you have to let go of control. When you've got these systems and processes in place, it means that your business can thrive without your constant presence and constant input. So it starts with hiring with intention, documenting the way that you do things in your firm, and then creating a culture of ownership and accountability. Let me just say the one caveat is this is a work in progress. It does not happen overnight, especially if you are already a team where there's a bit of chaos. We've got to clean it out, and it does take time. But I can tell you, because I've helped many firms do it now, that when you do it, the amount of freedom that you start loving your business again and that you're not constantly cleaning up or mopping up messes, it just makes life so much easier. And your firm, now that it's more profitable, more efficient, and there's no chaos, it feels really good to work there, and you will absolutely love it. So I know that it's really hard to let go, but if you do want your law firm to be sustainable, scalable, and enjoyable, you really can't afford not to do this. You can do it on your own, or you can join a program like mine in Scalable Law, and we can absolutely help you do it. We have every template, every process for you, and we deliver it to you and help you to implement it in your firm so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I have done it for you, and we've implemented it into many law firms as well. So thanks for listening. If this resonates with you, share the episode to a fellow law firm owner if they are possibly feeling the same way as you. Until next time, keep building your firm, but more importantly, build it so that it can run without you, so that you can have what you desired in the first place, which was more time and freedom and more profit in your pocket. So until next time, I will see you again next week. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Scalable Law Podcast, brought to you by the Scalable Business Lounge. If you would love to know how you can get more clients without relying on referrals, head over to scalablelaw.com to watch my free masterclass. Until next time, you have got this.